What's up, guys? The Snowman here, talking more women's soccer today as the 2022 Women's Euros are just around the corner. Very excited to be able to break down this tournament that had to be postponed a year because of COVID, but we're going to be looking at the 4 groups and the 16 teams that'll be doing battle in England this month. We'll take a look at who the favorites are, look at some key players, and of course make some predictions, especially how I see the knockout bracket unfolding. Please feel free to comment whether you agree or disagree with my analysis, but otherwise, let's get started. And here's a look at the groups for Euro 2022. It's a 16-team tournament, 4 groups of 4. In Group A, the host nation, England, joined by Austria, Norway, and Northern Ireland. Then we have Group B, the group of death, as some are calling it, 8-time European champs Germany, alongside Denmark, Spain, and Finland. Group C boasts the defending winner of this event back in 2017. That's the Netherlands. We also have the 2021 Olympic silver medalists Sweden, Portugal, and Switzerland. Ignore Russia there. They were banned from this event for obvious geopolitical reasons. Portugal replacing the Russians. And Group D, a fun-looking quartet in the form of France, Italy, Belgium, and Iceland. You've got to finish top 2 in your group to advance to the 8-team knockout stage, and then from there on, it's single elimination for 3 rounds, but every nation guaranteed at least 3 games against their group stage opponents. Again, first and second place to move on. Let's break down each group now, starting with Group A. A ton of familiarity in this group. England has knocked Norway out of 2 of the past 3 international tournaments, and England, Northern Ireland, and Austria all in the same World Cup qualifying Group 2. As the hosts of Euro 2022, England right near the top of the list for contenders to win it all. In fact, most odds makers have them second after Spain to win the title. They've reached the semifinals at each of their last 3 international competitions, and new coach Sarina Wiegman has experience winning the Euros, having just done so with the Dutch on home soil in 2017. Beth Mead is the player to watch out for on England, a dynamic playmaker who's been on fire for Arsenal this season. Mead will be getting supplied from Walsh and Williamson in a very possession-heavy attack, so she'll be on the ball a ton, keeping defenses on their heels. Norway will pin their hopes on what is perhaps the best attacking duo in the world between Ada Hegerberg and Caroline Graham Hansen. Hegerberg has wasted no time getting back to her best level after missing a couple of years with injury, and Hansen created the most chances in the Champions League with 38, so expect them to feast all month long. Austria has about a 2-to-1 chance of advancing to the knockout stage. They'll be reliant on do-it-all midfielder Sarah Zdrazil, one of the best tacklers and winners of possession. She'll look to initiate the offense for Austria, a team that likes to build slowly from the back, and unfortunately I don't have high hopes for Northern Ireland this summer. They're the lowest ranked team to qualify for the Euros at 48, and they've got the longest odds to both advance from the group and win the entire competition, so I've got England 1, Norway in second for Group A. Group B is a lot of fun, probably the strongest on paper. You've got the pedigree of Germany, a team in Denmark who made the final at Euro 2017, defeating the Germans in the process, and then Spain. They seem to be taking the world by storm. Everybody high on them, including the bookmakers who give them the best chances of anyone of being champs on July 31st. Germany are the record 8-time European Championship winners, the 2-time World Cup champs. I guess maybe the reason they're not the favorites in Group B is because there's a lot of turnover with the roster. Only 10 names remain the same from the 2019 World Cup, but I love the young talent, whether it's Lena Oberdorf, Lohman, or Brandt. You add that juice to the midfield alongside vets like Alexandra Popp and Sarah de Brits. It's going to be a dangerous combination. Maybe they don't have that world-class superstar like they've had in the past, but always watch out for the Germans. Spain is the trendy pick right now. So much continuity with 10 players on their squad coming from FC Barcelona. They're unbeaten in 22 matches dating back to March 2020. In fact, they went a perfect 12-0 in 2021. Didn't concede a single goal. Alexia Putellas is the 2021 Ballon d'Or winner, and while she and Barca have enjoyed a great deal of success in the last few years, we're all still kind of waiting for everything to gel for the Spanish national team. So could this be the tournament? Denmark is hoping not. They're led by Pernille Harder and Nadia Nadim. Harder, Denmark's captain and record goal scorer, usually found in a wide attacking position for Denmark. Her ability to be both a playmaker and a scorer will be key to lead her national team to victory. And then Finland is the minnow in Group B. Watch out for their electrifying goalkeeper, Tina Rika Korpela, whose net will probably be under siege this event. Overall, I like Germany to win this group and Spain to advance as runners-up. No repeat three-peat magic for the Danes this year. Switching over to Group C, it's an interesting blend of teams. Ignore Russia in this graphic. They've actually been replaced by Portugal, but not really a lower-ranked team to pick on like the first two groups here. I've been a huge fan of this Dutch team ever since their triumph at Euro 2017. New coach Mark Parsons has brought some much-needed fresh energy and rejuvenation to a team that's achieved a lot of success the past 5 years. The defense might always be an Achilles heel, but Vivianne Miedema and the offense should blossom like always. Miedema became the Netherlands' all-time leading scorer at the age of 22, and she can score with her right foot, left foot, head, play the number 9 or number 10 position if need be. Now that Lieke Martens is back from injury, I don't think there's a better front six in women's football than the Netherlands. You've got Van de Donk, Groningen, and Sharita Spitze. Spitze fresh off becoming the 7th European player with 200 international caps all time. Their big competition in Group C will be with Sweden, another team with an excellent record at the past 3 major tournaments, silver at the Olympics last year. Such a balanced squad, Magdalena Eriksson leading a strong defensive line, Kosovori Aslani organizing the midfield, and then Fridolina Rolfo and Stina Blackstenius starring in the attack. Sweden and the Dutch met at the last Euros with the hosts winning 2-0 in that quarterfinal encounter. Switzerland are no slouches. They've quietly been building a decent squad. Ramona Bachmann up front, Leah Valti as the key deep-lying midfielder, playing the ball out effectively to the forwards, linking up passes and making tackles. In Portugal, the lesser of the 4 teams, but they do have plenty of continuity with 21 of their 23 players playing domestically in Portugal. I do worry about their ability to score, though. Just 10 goals in 10 qualifiers for this event, by far the lowest amount of any of these 16 teams. Switzerland is certainly a fine side, but I'd be shocked if it's not the Netherlands and Sweden out of Group C. Last group, Group D, arguably as strong as Group B. France a cut above the other 3 teams, but Italy, Belgium, and Iceland all sit inside the top 20 of the FIFA rankings. This group probably the toughest to tell which 2 teams will advance. France is loaded with talent despite head coach Corinne Diacre's controversial decision to leave out Amandine Henry off the squad. They've got an intimidating 3-headed snake up front, Baltimore, Diani, and Katoto, all 3 of whom play together in Paris at PSG. 23-year-old Marie-Antoinette Katoto broke PSG's all-time goal record in 2021-22. She now has an astonishing 108 goals in 113 appearances for them. The defense has some fresh blood. I think France is solidly a top 3 pick to win these European championships, and Iceland could be a legit dark horse this summer. They're currently sitting on top of a World Cup qualifying group that includes the Netherlands. They've got lots of experience, 8 players aged 30 and up, one of which is West Ham's Dagny Brynjarsdottir, who won the 2nd most aerial duels in the Women's Super League last season, only behind Sam Kerr. Italy has a similar caliber team to Iceland, a good mixture of old and new faces, very sound at the back. I like their captain Sarah Gamma, who's part of a Juve defense that conceded just 14 goals in 22 games last season, winning their 5th consecutive title with Gamma. Remember, this is an Italy team that won their group at the 2019 World Cup over Brazil and Australia. They made the quarterfinals of that competition, and Belgium a longer shot to escape the group, but they won their qualifying group over Switzerland, and throughout qualifying, no player in Europe scored more goals than Belgium's Tine de Cagny. She had 12 goals. I know most people probably have the Italians advancing to the knockout stage with the French, but I'll mix it up. Give me France and Iceland from Group D. So those are the groups. Just one thing left to do now. Let's see how that translates to the knockout bracket. These are my 8 teams that I have advancing. Group A winners, England against Group B runners-up Spain. The Netherlands versus Iceland. That's one half of the draw. And then I have Germany paired against Norway, and Group D victors, France versus the Swedes. Prediction time. This is how I see the knockout stage unfolding. England over Spain. You can't have the hosts go out in the quarterfinals. I think the Dutch steamroll right past Iceland. Germany-Norway is the most fun quarterfinal matchup for me. Stars all over the place. I want to side with Hagerberg and Hansen, but Germany would likely have the lion's share of the possession. I don't trust Norway enough to supply their attackers in that matchup. France-Sweden, an awesome game too, but I like France. And then in the first semi, all the buzz will be about England coach Sarina Wiegman, the Dutch woman who just led her nation to glory 5 years ago, back against her old mates. She'll have the English prepared so well tactically for everything the Dutch will throw at them, but I foresee sadness in Sheffield for the English faithful, the Netherlands to get back to their 3rd major final of the past 5 years. Germany, France, the other semi. I don't like the Germans' record against the elite teams over the past 18 months. Defeats to the Netherlands, Canada, England, and France. I envision the French finally getting revenge for that epic World Cup quarterfinal in 2015 that saw Germany advance in penalties. That was the game of the tournament. Maybe we get a repeat this time around. And then my final, orange versus blue, Netherlands and France. France probably with the edge in the back, Netherlands with more trust and continuity in the midfield, and both teams overflowing with attacking riches. In the end, I think it's an absolute toss-up, but I'm predicting that France wins the 2022 UEFA Women's Euros. I like their roster a ton top to bottom. They're currently on a 14-match winning streak. One of those victories earlier this year over the Dutch, 3-1. So give me France by a score of 2-1 as your champions of Europe. And that about does it for my 2022 Women's Euro preview. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment. Let me know who you think is going to win the whole thing in England this summer. Please like and subscribe then for more football and soccer videos. Subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media, and I'll be back very soon with more content. Thanks a lot. Cheers.